At the T-minus 3-minute mark, tape recorders on board the spacecraft were turned on. These recorders record both voice and data. We have ignition sequence start. The engine's now building up to 7.7 million pounds of thrust. We have a launch commit and we have a liftoff. Moving back. The Saturn V lifting off with power.
This is WOMMLP operating out of Burlington, Vermont. It's 105.9, The Radiator, The Rocket Shop, and I'm your host, Tom Proctor. With me tonight is Matthew Mercury. Hello, guys. Pretty. Hello. Would you like to, first of all, introduce yourselves, and then introduce your first song?
I'm Ezra Oakland. I sing in the band Matthew Mercury.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I'm also in the band Matthew Mercury. And then there's 3 other members that aren't here tonight. But we're going to do a little thing for you as a duo.
Oh, wonderful. What's your first song going to be?
This song is called Contessa.
All right. Take it away.
Your pilgrim eyes, they want blood. Chantilly lace, yeah, you got some. Expecting war from the seaside. 10,000 strong makes a death bride. Who knew that I wanted to meet you? Well, I guess I was wrong, easy to see through. You've been running around, you've been running me down, tied up and dragged all the way to the far side of this town. Contessa, Contessa, I don't wanna fight. Don't hide your face, it's sincere. It took all night just to get here. It might be love if it feels right, and if it's not, don't be uptight. Unfold your arms and start undressing, and you move real slow in my direction. Been running around, you've been running me down, tied up and dragged all the way to the far side of this town. Contessa, Contessa, I don't wanna fight. Oh, Contessa, it'll be alright. Contessa, just let me stay the night. Who's got enough and who's got some? Wait out the night in seclusion. I could say more, you could say less. Is this the way you treat all your guests? Let's live for tonight and not tomorrow. Don't make my poor heart beg and borrow. You've been running around, you've been running me down, tied up and dragged all the way to the far side of this town. Contessa, Contessa, I don't wanna fight. Oh, Contessa, it'll be alright. Contessa, just let me stay the night. Contessa, I don't wanna fight. Oh, Contessa, I don't wanna fight. Contessa, I don't wanna fight. Contessa, It'll be alright, Contessa. Just let me stay the night. Oh, Contessa, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna fight.
All right, Matthew Mercury there with Contessa. So I got very excited to hear you play this evening. I had a little listen to you on Spotify. I see that your new album's up there, and there was kind of a shout out to your influences like Morrissey, Pulp, Bowie,
Yeah.
Joy Division.
Absolutely.
So that's all my teenage heroes. Like just a little slice of them, obviously, but like that's what I grew up listening to is indie rock. So how is British indie rock resonate with your style and your kind of music? What's your history with it?
I just started.
The first time you heard My Bloody Valentine. Paint us a picture.
Yeah, no. When I was a kid, my mom had a record collection, and I guess she had a really good record collection because I just kind of started exploring with her record collection, and it was Prince and U2 and Michael Jackson and David Bowie, and then there were these like obscure bands like Pulp, and
Listen to Pulp.
what?
Your mom listened to Pulp?
I don't know if she listened to Pulp, but we had the record.
Which Pulp album, out of interest?
It was the what was the name of their first record?
It's Common People. Oh,
no,
wait,
we
wait.
definitely had Common People, but it was their first one.
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
Oh, we had Television, Marquee Moon, and Adventure, and
So-
10-year-old listening to that stuff.
Different Class is well, His and Hers was their first album, but Different Class is like their classic. So basically, your mum is the reason, the influence behind your lifelong love of good
Well,
music.
I think she planted the seed with the music. Absolutely. I mean, she was like, you're gonna listen to this Zeppelin album, and you're gonna learn how to play drums from this drummer, and, and I mean, she did a good job with that.
Was your mum a musical person as well, or was she just an avid listener, or did she play?
She was more of a listener.
Right.
Yeah.
A listener and a cop.
And so how did that then manifest into your style today? Because you played for a lot of different bands, Dwight and Nicole being one of them. In fact, a big selection of Bellington musical alumni, royalty, if you will. And I hear the rest of the band has got a similar kind of resume.
Definitely.
So, in terms of the music you have been playing to the music you're playing now with you kind of your own band, how's it evolved?
This is completely different. I don't think I've ever played in a band like this before.
Certainly not as the lead singer.
Yeah, definitely not as the lead singer, but I have played in a lot of rock bands, and some of them were indie, some of them were shoegazy or whatever, but never with like the synth pop sensibilities.
Yeah, so give me a little bit of background about the band. How did it come together? How did you get? I mean, there's just the two of you here tonight, but as you were mentioning, there's another three that are missing. So how did the band all first come together, and when did you decide to start playing?
Well, my wife has been pushing me to start this band for a while. And
Like how many? 11 years?
no, not quite 11 years, but she wanted me to start this band for a while, and just the timing wasn't right. The timing was never right. And about a year ago, I noticed that the timing was right. So
Did she pick the other musicians to go into the band with you? Was it like, oh, you're starting this band and you're starting it with these guys?
honestly, my friend Kevin Bloom started a band called the Dead Shakers.
Oh yeah.
And,
Turn back.
yeah,
Get him.
and
Get that guy.
he just put together such an amazing band that I was like, I want him in my band, and I want him in my band.
So it makes it seem a little less impossible.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
kind of
He's pretty fearless.
So we kind of
Headless.
share the band.
Did you? Were you like a headhunter? Were you calling him up in the middle of the night and being like, "Listen, I need you to come around to my house, bring your
He only
guitar"?
called me once in the middle of the night.
I think I sent one of my handlers to Jeremy's house, and
My lawyers
they
got a
made
little-
made him an offer that he couldn't refuse.
You get dangled out the window, Jeremy. This is like a Suge Knight move.
No, it's actually just millions of dollars.
Well, I kind of wish you came to my house now. I mean, I can't play any instruments, but
You're in.
I heard you need a tambourine guy, and I
Yeah.
felt
Tambourines.
I feel like I could fulfill that role. So let's talk a little bit. In fact, actually, let's hear another song, and then we'll get onto the whole album talk because I feel like I need a bit more time to talk about that.
Cookie's more exciting than
Yeah.
doing a real young song.
I know. It is.
Let's just do that.
All right.
We'll lay claim
Or
to
do you
it.
want to do Burn Right Down?
Not particularly.
No?
I feel like there are songs you can do in this scenario a lot easier. Cookie's on that list.
Yeah. Okay.
Executive decision made.
Go for it.
You wanna play too?
Maybe. Well, I'd like to get next to you, and I hope we can see this through. And I wanted to share your heart. Yeah, I knew it right from the start. Well, I'd like to get next to you, and I hope we can see this through. And I wanted to share your heart. Yeah, I knew it right from the start. Whoa, oh, that cookie, you're so tough, oh yeah. Your long lashes and your curly brown hair. You like dancing and you hit real hard. You try to run me right out of your yard now. Oh, that cookie, you're so tough, oh yeah. Your long lashes and your curly brown hair. I'd like to get next to you, and I hope we can see this through. And I wanted to share your heart. Yeah, I knew it right from the start. Well, I'd like to get next to you, and I hope we can see this through. And I wanted to share your heart. Yeah, I knew it right from the start. Oh, oh, that cookie, you're so tough, oh yeah. Your long lashes and your curly brown hair. You like dancing and you hit real hard. You try to run me right out of your yard now. Oh, that cookie, you're so tough, oh yeah. Your long lashes and your curly brown hair. You like dancing and you hit real hard. You try to run me right out of your yard now. Oh, that cookie, you're so tough, oh yeah. Your long lashes and your curly brown hair. You like dancing and you hit real hard now. You try to run me right out of your yard now.
All right, Cookie by Matthew Mercury. And so that one was another one off the album, which, perfect segue. How was the whole process of getting this album out? When did it first come out? Tell me the story behind this self-titled album.
Only just very recently did it come out.
Yeah, so it came out in on June 14th, but I've been working on this album for a really long time.
How long?
That's where that big number comes in.
Yeah, yeah. Most of these songs, with the exception of maybe one or two, I've been working on them for like eight years.
Through phases of life.
Yeah, and like we take a step back. My friend Matthew Dublin and I wrote these tunes, and it's been a really fun process, and it's really cool that we finally actually have an album and finished it.
I mean, 8 years though. I mean, you've got to have written a lot of songs in that time. You've played for a lot of bands. You've got your own band together now as well.
Yeah.
A, why now? B, did you pick songs from that 8-year stretch? And if so, can you tell when you listen to the records which ones are from, way back when and which ones are newer based on the kind of stylistic choices you've made?
No. I can't tell. But to answer your first question, now was the time, because I just didn't want to look back on this and regret it. 20, 30 years from now, I didn't want to say, oh, you really should have recorded that album because you were sitting on those tunes and, they were good.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, getting those tunes together, though, I mean, from that large span of time, how hard or how easy was it, like, picking which ones were right for this album? How did you decide that these, 13, 14 tracks were the right ones to put together?
It was very easy for me because I have been sitting on these songs for a long time. So, let's say like 6 years ago, I'd be like driving down the road or something. I'd say, you know what? I think Cookie would be a really good number 7 song on a 9-song album, and here's why. Because Burn Right Down ends this way, and and when we actually went into the studio and recorded the real versions of these tunes, all of that was just thrown out the window.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
All these theories you had at 2 o'clock in the morning,
yes,
just
all of them were
But
just.
all those theories got you there. They
Yeah.
got you amped enough to do
Right.
the work.
right. No, I think that's obviously the most important aspect of it. And I've had to listen to the album. It is tight. I mean, there's a lot of people, first albums are, first albums, and, like the first pancake you make, it tastes good, but it
And
looks a
lots
bit.
of pancakes.
Yeah, but this one, for a debut album, is very professional, very clean. Tell me a little bit about the recording process.
So the drums were recorded in this really famous studio in New York City called Clinton. It's not around anymore. I guess Clinton was one of the CBS studios. So when we recorded the drums, we recorded them in a room that had 50-foot ceilings, and it was basically the size of a gymnasium. And we used all of the old mics that were used on like Kinda Blue and some of those old jazz recordings. So that's how the drums were recorded. Most of them, yeah. And then the rest of the album was recorded up at Lane Gibson's studio in Charlotte, produced by this gentleman
nice.
here.
Hello.
He was at the helm for 50 sessions over 5 months.
He tabulated that
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Oh, so this was certainly not like a get in the studio one and done kind of situation. This was a meticulous process.
Fairly meticulous.
Yeah, we had to re-record some of the tunes because, being the... I just didn't realize that we had to change the key for some of the songs. I was like, oh, sure, I'll be able to sing it in that key. And then I just couldn't sing it at all.
Mind over matter was
Yeah.
quite enough.
So I mean, you've also got to pair with it, and the album's tight, great tracks, but also the album artwork's amazing. There must have been a lot of other creative forces involved in this album. So yeah, who else was part of putting this together?
Eric Eichmann did the art.
Love Eric Eichmann.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a great artist. Actually,
Yeah.
I think I just saw him walking down the road as I came here. Actually.
You should have been here for this interview.
Yeah, he did.
Could have
I
asked the
just
questions that we have about the album.
I met Eric through Dwight and Nicole. They live in the same building,
Mm.
and I just really loved his artwork.
Didn't so I've been to his studio.
Okay.
And I believe he lives there. I
Yeah.
don't know. So and then if Dwight and Nicole live there, and I know at least one of the DuPont brothers used to live there. So
It's a very talented building.
it clearly is, yeah. For those who ever wants to go stalk them, it's that ramshackle building at the end of the train tracks, right by the Burlington
Stop
waterfront.
outing artists.
Yeah, I didn't say
Stop outing
anything.
artists.
Well, in fairness, it's a wonderful building just to look at because it looks like a building of fairy tales.
I don't know what building you're talking about.
I'll keep quiet from now on.
Here's the one, Ezra.
Yeah.
You'll see it next time.
Right.
It came out in June. Tell me a little bit about the album release party. What kind of reception have you got so far, and what's the next steps for you at the moment?
So, the reception has been great. Everyone just seems to be supporting the record and really enjoying it. And I was afraid to put it out there because, you can be judged and people will do that, and that's okay. I've done that too, But everyone has been really supportive, and our record release show was at the Arts Riot, and it was great. A bunch of people came out. We recently were asked to play GPN, Grace Potter's Festival.
I saw that.
Yeah, and that was a surprise because we've only played 2 gigs.
Oh, wow.
We played the Waking Windows Festival, and we played Arts Riot, and we had a practice gig at Charlie O's in Montpelier, and that was actually a lot of fun.
Who reached out to you for the Grace Potter gig? Because that's a big deal. I mean, she's
Stop outing promoters.
been.
I believe Nick reached out to us.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
and
Firegrounds booking.
Yeah,
oh, fantastic.
yeah.
So that's a real big deal because she's been doing that for a number of years, and it seems to be getting bigger and bigger all the time. And there's some great other people on that lineup as well. Some fantastic younger.
Oh yeah,
Younger
Mike
bands.
Mal and Lucius, and there's some awesome bands playing.
Right.
Yeah,
And so, Waking Windows, first gig, second gig,
that was our
First.
first gig.
and you're on the.
Practice gig. We had a
Yeah.
Practice gig a couple days before.
Yeah.
Before,
Yeah, we had a practice gig at Charlie O's a few days before.
where we could all just relax.
Yeah.
And play some songs.
And then,
Charlie O's, Montpelier, Vermont.
and then your second gig was on the Rotary stage on the Sunday for Waking Windows.
Yeah, Sunday at 5 o'clock.
Right, I think I was there for that one
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, that was fun. That was our debut show, and I thought we did a great job. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah, could've pat
definitely
myself on the back.
definitely couldn't tell it was your first ever real gig, not a
Yeah.
practice gig.
So yeah, you play enough gigs, I guess, in your life, and you can just kind of, we're fooling everybody.
Yeah, I've been watching
really
a
just
lot
a
of
big
front
trick.
people from behind, so I'm not really sure what they look like up front.
Well, you got away with it, definitely. I did have one last question before I let you plug away your kind of social media and let you play your last song. I did see a quote from you saying that through the years you tried to identify the intersection where desire meets demand. So in relation to your style and sound, if you were to produce music that was made purely 100% desire, what would that sound like?
It would sound like this album. It really would.
Turns out he's living the dream.
Yeah. Turns out I'm living my best life doing this.
This is like 100% distilled you.
Yeah, I mean, with help from a bunch of awesome, talented people, But yeah, this would be the style of music that I would really just. It's just what happens naturally. You know, when I mean, when my friend Matt and I sat down and wrote these tunes, we didn't have like a specific thing in mind. We just started writing what came naturally to us, and this is what it was.
It turns out to be. It's even better the fact your friends helped you out to get this created.
Oh yeah, you just have to surround yourself with awesome people that are really talented.
Simple as that.
Kevin knows that.
Well, as I said, we've got about time for one more song, but before I let you go, please plug away any of your social media and any other gigs other than the Grace Potter gig that's coming up.
The Grace Potter gig is our next show, and then after that, we're playing the Rockwood Stage 2 in New York City. And the night before Rockwood, we're playing a place in Portsmouth called Book and Bar, and I think that's on October 10th, and the Rockwood's on October 11th. I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Social medias?
That's a Thursday and a Friday, the 10th and 11th.
Are we playing the 11th or the 10th?
We're playing both nights.
Both nights?
Yeah.
Everyone plays both nights?
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean for GPN?
Yeah.
Oh no, for GPN. For GPN, we're playing September 14th. That's Saturday, September 14th, sometime in the afternoon, late afternoon.
Best spot.
Yeah, in between Jay Bengoy and Francesca Blanchard. So that's a nice Bengoy Francesca sandwich.
Are you on stage with Francesca?
Yeah, and I'll be playing drums with
Both
Francesca.
of us will have to work the next gig after.
Yeah,
that,
right.
too.
And you can hit us at on Facebook at Matthew Mercury Band. Hit us on Instagram at Matthew_Mercury. And our website, MatthewMercury.com.
Sweet. And what song you got left to play us out with?
I don't know. That's going to be up to Jeremy.
What do you want to do?
We could do Burn Right Down. And
How about
just,
we do Settle Late? He wants your Settle Late. Let's do it.
well, we did 2 slow tunes. We'll just keep it slow.
Yeah, we'll just
Yeah, I
we're
guess that.
chilled out today.
It's a hot day, you know.
Wavy day.
It's too sweaty to get all up in the
Everybody.
business.
Yeah.
Feel your inner palm tree.
Thought I'd stop to say hello. It's such a relic to me, and I guess I really have to go, even though it's been lovely. It's hard to tell and never show. Oh, I know what you do right. Thought we'd play Remember When and say, kid, you look alright. Well, it's a long way down, and won't somebody help me? Oh, it's so hard out there. Oh, it's so hard, I know. Well, it's a subtle aching anytime, anywhere. Don't you know to haul it way down? You can't hold on, you know the way I am, son. Yeah, I guess you'd come undone. All the time we've kissed goodbye, it's shy a century, and I never thought to ask you why, so just put it all on me. Oh, it's so hard, I know. Well, it's a subtle aching anytime, anywhere. Don't you know to haul the way down? You can't hold on, you know the way I am, son. Yeah, I guess you come undone. Oh, it's so hard out there. Oh, it's so hard, I know. Well, it's all I am. All I know. It's all I am. All I know.
Matthew Mercury there. Ezra, Jeremy, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And best of luck to all the gigs you got coming up.
Thanks a lot.
We are some of Matthew Mercury.
Coming out next, we've got the Green Mountain Chamber Music Festival geniuses that are going to give us a fantastic rendition of what they've been doing this summer. Please stick around because this is one of my favorite times of year when they come back in again. So we'll be right back right after the break.